YouTube, what's going on? It's Mesa Sean back at it with some Destiny 2. Alright folks, welcome to a two-part series where we're going to go through everything that I am doing to prepare for Forsaken. Forsaken will be here in roughly about a month, and we're going to go through in two videos everything that I am doing, and I'm going to recommend you do, to prepare for Forsaken. This video is going to be all about your consumables and things you want to stock up on, and the other video is going to be about all the weapons that I think you should save, or the ones I'm saving for sure, of Year 1 weapons going into Year 2. If you find this video helpful, a like rating is always appreciated. Let's get into it. So let's kick this off with talking about the tower first. Now at the tower, 3 vendors that will give Year 2 gear, confirmed by Game Informer, is going to be the Gunsmith, Zavala, and also Shaxx. So as you can see here, I have tons of Gunsmith materials, tons of Vanguard tokens, and not as many Crucible tokens because I play way more PvE. Now, these are going to serve two purposes. One, to help you with your soft cap, because as you turn these in, they will give you gear on a power level related to your soft cap, not necessarily powerful gear, although you could get lucky if you get an exotic, but also random rolls. They're going to have all new loot pools, I believe, and when you're trying to get that perfectly rolled whatever it is, those are going to be 3 really great sources. Now, I wouldn't recommend the first week of Forsaken cashing all of these in. What I'm going to do is kind of pace myself, maybe do a few during the first, well, remember, the reset's going to change every 4 days, the raid's going to reset every week, but I'm thinking as my power progresses, cashing a whole bunch of these in, but more importantly, I'm trying to get random rolls. I want to see what new loot and what new archetypes Banshees, Zavala, and Shaxx have, and hopefully cash those in and see what's good and see if I can get a god roll on something. Now in terms of getting Vanguard tokens, they made it a whole lot easier because you could log in every day on all 3 characters and get these done. These bounties are super easy, you do them on all 3 characters, and they give you tokens as rewards. I also like to buy these things right here because they are only 10 legendary shards and they give you extra tokens at the end of a strike. Now Shaxx, he also does sell a Boon of the Crucible, but those are a little bit more costly. They're 25 legendary shards. Now myself, what am I sitting at right now? 1600 roughly for legendary shards. Now Bungie has a history of taking currency that we have excess of and making us use them. And they did say a few times to like upgrade Year 1 stuff with mods or infusing Year 1 stuff, whatever, is going to be a little bit more expensive. So you might want to save some of these legendary shards, but if you're like me, you probably have a gazillion shaders. Now, this is not all of my shaders here. I've got a whole bunch sitting in my vault, but some of these are going to give you legendary shards and some just give you glimmer. So we're going to go September 4th over to the Cryptarch, and he's going to delete these in bulk of 5s. So I'm not worried about legendary shards. I'm not dismantling them now. I'll just wait until September 4th rolls around, and I'm sure I'll probably go up to 2,000-3,000 legendary shards because I have a gazillion shaders in my vault. So let's talk about consumables, materials, engrams, and so forth. So first off, cash in all of your engrams. I don't think they're going to give you any Year 2 stuff, or at least they didn't do that for me with the previous DLCs. Let's talk real quick about Emperor Callus tokens. So I think these might help with the soft cap. We'll have to find out come September 4th when I cash these in. But also, one pro tip my friend Anthony gave me, you probably remember him from the Whisper of Worm shortcut video. What he's doing is he's taking all his Leviathan keys and he's putting them in the vault. If you put your Leviathan keys in the vault, at reset, they do not disappear. So I think his thought process is, when Forsaken hits, I might just go into the Leviathan real quick and open up all those chests, and every 3rd chest, you're pretty much guaranteed an exotic. I think it's going to give you a Year 1 exotic, but you never know. So something to consider if you're still doing the regular Leviathan, you're trying to get a catalyst or something like that. You know what? Put those keys in your vault and see what happens after Forsaken hits. Let's talk about destination tokens right now. So destinations, they pretty much confirmed they will not, repeat not, give you Year 2 gear. However, I get a feeling these will help with the soft cap. When Warmind hit, I used Devrim K, Failsafe, everybody from the other destinations to help me with my soft cap. So I would hold on to these things. If you're doing your daily challenges, you're going to get them anyway. So hold on to them, and more than likely, these will help with getting you to your soft cap. And obviously, these materials that you collect on all the planets too, cash those in first. And I wouldn't cash them in all at one time. Wait until you start getting powerful gear from your weekly milestones, and remember, those weekly milestones are going to refresh every 4 days. The raid is going to reset once a week, but your weekly milestones every 4 days. So I'm going to slowly cash these in over the course of September to see where my soft cap is and see if I can get some gear to keep bumping me up. We're going to have a nice grind to get from 385 to 600. I would hoard your masterwork cores to turn weapons into masterworks. Armor is going to be changing. These won't be used on armor anymore. Armor is going to drop with 2 randomly rolled perks, and when you upgrade it 10 times, it will turn itself into a masterwork. Another thing that I'm hoarding is Iron Banner tokens. Now, my thought process is if random rolls are coming back, there's a good chance that when you cash in tokens to Saladin, if he's even using the same system, turn in tokens to Saladin and he might give you whatever gear he has in his loot pool, but with a random roll. That was a big thing we loved about Destiny 1 Iron Banner, is depending on what he or Lady Efrity was selling, you would either play Iron Banner to get a drop at the end of a game and get a god roll, or you would just buy them from him or Lady Efrity. So I'm saving these, but I'm going to put them in my vault right before Forsaken hits. I'm probably going to buy a few more 3 of coins, even though I think these things don't give you any type of benefit whatsoever. But I want to try to get as many exotics as possible when Forsaken hits so I could do reviews. And of course, as always, when a DLC comes out, if you get an exotic, hit me up on Twitter or email to use your account. I'll give you a full shout out because I love doing exotic reviews when new content comes out. Let's talk about getting to that level 50 cap. And that's going to be simple. Just play the game and you'll be rank 50. But I don't think you'll be rank 50 by the end of the campaign. Getting from 30 to 50 is going to be a little bit longer, I think. But a few things can make your life easier. One is just buy these Fire Team medallions from Tess Everest. And also, I still have one of these Pop-Tart codes that gives me increased XP for 4 hours. But another thing that can make your life easier is your Ghost Shell. Go through all your Ghost Shells and find one that gives you increased XP by 10%. Now, I've got the Cosmos Shell here, so that gives me XP gains on anything I do, whatever activity. But there's other types, like here's one that gives you increased XP by 10% in the Crucible. Some are dependent on the destination, some are for strikes, and so forth. So just kind of go through those and see what you have. While we are on the topic of Ghost Shells, I am saving all the ones that have detect resources, and I'm saving them for all the destinations. I have a feeling, we are getting exotic quests back, and it would not surprise me if on some of the destinations, whenever we get a DLC, sometimes we still go back to the old destinations to do things on. It would not surprise me if some of those exotic quests or things that we need to create, forge, whatever, we need to find those resources. So I'm saving all the Ghost Shells that have detect resources. Here I've got one for IO, I've got one for Titan, and I've got one for EDZ. So go through all your Ghost Shells. If you got duplicates, here's an EDZ one. I'll just get rid of that and I'll get myself some Bright Dust. Alright, so that's it for Ghost Shells. So let's talk about mods and Glimmer. So in my vault I've got a bunch of mods, as well as a gazillion shaders, and I don't know why I still have those treasure maps, because treasure maps are going away. Let's talk about mods. So the blue rare mods, they are going away with Forsaken. I don't think they'll be removed from our inventory, so I would still just hold on to them. But what you want to start doing is breaking down the mods that you don't need or that you have excess of, because Steve Cotton did say in the latest Game Informer, we will be using mod components to make mods. Now, mods are supposed to be more meaningful. Some examples they gave is, well, Hidden Hand is basically coming back, and you could put it on a weapon and get more, you can get extra aim assist. One was increased grenade throwing distance. I really hope they bring back a lot of the favorite perks that we had from D1, like Innervation, where you get health when you pick up an orb, maybe increased melee attack speed for PvP, and so forth. But what I would do is when you hit 100,000 Glimmer this summer, just go in here and buy a whole bunch of these blue rare mods, turn them into legendaries, get these, and then from there, just break them down. Another thing that they said in the latest Game Informer issue is that when it comes to the elemental mods, these will not serve any purpose in Forsaken. They're getting rid of these. So basically, whatever weapon you get, whatever element it drops with, that's your weapon for that element. So I'm saving these right now for the summer for doing summer activities, basically. But any other mods that I don't need, I'm just breaking down into mod components. So hopefully come September, I could come here and Banshee might be selling some cool stuff to put on armor or even to put on weapons. They also said in the latest Game Informer interview that there will be some raid mods, raid specific mods, and I hope by that they mean weapons and both armor, because who doesn't miss the good old days of D1 where you'd put on a full raid set and you would have all these mods that would benefit you in the raid, whether it was for weapons or whether it was for armor. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. The other video that I have planned is basically going through all the weapons in my vault and on my characters and seeing which ones I actually want to keep. Because a lot of these I don't use and I don't particularly like. However, if they have some intrinsic perks that are pretty good and the new mod system is going to be interesting and I could make them better, hey, I might as well hold on to some of these things. I mean, we already know the basics I'm going to keep: Nameless Midnight, Better Devils, Origin Story, but depending on how the new mod system is, they kind of hinted at we will be able to mod our year 1 stuff, but I'm wondering, you know, can I get a perk for, let's say, Outlaw to put on my Origin Story? Or can I do something with Outlaw on Better Devils? I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with Outlaw. What if they brought back, I don't know, Reactive Reload? Well, we kind of have Reactive Reload. We have Kill Clip. You know what I'm talking about, guys. So I'm going to go through, basically all the legendary weapons, not exotics, all the legendary weapons that I plan to keep going into Forsaken. And a number of you guys that follow me probably already know which weapons those are going to be. All right, that's it, guys. So leave me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end, and do me a favor, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on the Twitter at MesaSean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that is it. I am out of here like Vladimir.